Coachella Valley. Sunny skies, highs near 70 degrees. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate each and every one of you here on the morning show. We've got a lot of things to talk about. And I can tell you right now, if you are looking for a vehicle, boy oh boy, you have got to check my latest post on Facebook and or Instagram. It is a beautiful vehicle that you got to check out. And if you check it out, I guarantee you will be very, very happy. Okay, I posted it. It's a beautiful vehicle. I don't know, Jesse. Have you driven a truck ever? Because I know you have like a vehicle, like a car vehicle, right?
Yes. Okay. So what do you mean, like a regular truck?
Do you see yourself ever like being in a truck?
I've driven a truck before. It's okay depending on the truck, because some are like way too big. Like, okay, what are you compensating for? And then some I've ridden like really small ones.
Yeah.
So it's all about finding the truck that fits your size.
Okay, I like that. I like that idea. Check out the 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 Limited Series. It's the Denali. Okay, I posted it on my Facebook and Instagram yesterday. I have to return it this day. And, I drove it around for about a week. And I will say it's a fantastic vehicle. Okay, if you guys have out there, and I know many of you are driving out there, be safe, by the way, and be very careful because people are driving crazy. I will say, you have to be so careful. You have to be attentive of everything. Okay, I probably got to get the footage off of my dash cam, but literally, Jesse, I almost got into an accident yesterday, and it was a horrible one. It wasn't. Well, it was so quick and fast. It was like, I want to say, I'm glad I was driving slow on side streets, but I want to say, in front of me, I was probably a good, you know how they do like how many feet away you were? I can't even say that. Like probably half a block away. Okay, in distance. That's the best way for me to kind of put it, of a normal block, right? Of the accident, and it happened so quick. All I saw was like a little bumper on the street, and somebody kick it around. And I'm like, that's weird. And then I saw two cars mutilated, just kind of rolled to a stop. One lady, like her vehicle completely totaled right in the front, and then the other one, her airbags completely deployed. And then the third vehicle that I saw, I was like, what happened? Like everybody was stunned. Everybody came out. I didn't hear the crash. It just happened so suddenly in front of me. And I know I have video footage because I was like, huh? So I just got to get it from my dash cam, put it up on social media, and then you'll see it. But it was so quick and fast. I was like, it took me a little while to process that had I been going a little faster on a side street, it would have been me as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It happened that fast.
It's a lot of times like I don't like to talk when I'm driving because I want to see everything and pay attention, because I'm not worried about how I'm driving. I'm worried about how everybody else is.
Yeah, smart. Yeah.
Oh,
You got to do you and defensive driving, right?
Exactly. So it's just like, I'm not only am I looking for the car in front of me, but I'm looking for the car two cars down or two cars behind me, especially the ones that like to zip and weave in between traffic. God, I hate those people. But it's just like, yeah, you have to be safe because people are just zooming down these small roads and you never know. It's just like, you don't want to be on the news for that. Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't. And so if you can, get a vehicle that makes sense for you and your family, because these things can happen. Now, I will say this, and when I show you guys at some point, I just got to get it edited, the video footage. The vehicle that got mutilated probably the most, I already knew it was a good thing. And I mean it by this. There are certain crash tests that they do, and unlike old vehicles, and I know many of you like old vehicles that are like very sturdy and everything, but the way they crash, they don't like, you know how some become like an accordion, but the driver is safe? Like think NASCAR, think what do they call them? The Indy cars, right? Think cars like that. That
Okay.
they take the impact for you. That's the way good vehicles in crash tests, like of this one that I saw, and I kid you not, it was almost as though I don't know who hit who first, but it was almost as though like it was a highway accident. That's not bad. I've seen highway accidents be more bumper problems, but this one, no, the whole front gone, right? But it collapsed in such a way that I knew that the person was safe. They were able to walk away without getting like. I'm not saying that they're not going to hurt for days or that they're going to need, no therapy. Guaranteed they're going to need therapy, whiplash, all that, right? But they were able to walk away from it, right? And that's the part. If you look for a vehicle, always look for safety. Always look for safety, okay? If you're not following me on Instagram, do follow me. I know a lot of people have Instagram, so I'm like, hello, let's follow each other. And I like to stay on there. So here is my Instagram. Just look it up. It's Aaron M. Sanchez. Okay, I'll bring it up really quick here for you guys to see. And you'll see that I post some stuff. You're probably thinking, what's this guy? Right? Well, first of all, let me put the GMC. So this GMC, let me just bring it up for you guys to kind of see. When you click on it, you'll see the video that I did. I do it very quick and kind of just what I like. Sandrella says, that's purdy. And yeah, it's a great vehicle. It's strong, it's sturdy, and if I had to get into an accident, I would get into an accident in this vehicle and be okay with my family. The inside is great. We've talked about, just you and I, we've talked about, God, snowstorms and being in blizzards and being stuck for hours. This is a vehicle I would be okay to be stuck in as long as I had my snacks. You know what I mean?
Okay. I like. There's only one car that I've driven that I wish I would kept and like updated to something more modern, which was my 1989 Buick Riviera.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that car, I loved it. It was just so comfortable, but the fact that the whole body was steel was amazing because oh my God, when someone ran into my car, no damage. All I did was just buff it out, but their car was absolutely totaled, and it looked like somebody just like took like a sledgehammer and just like banged along the side of their car.
Oh, God.
So, God, I miss those cars. But it's just like a lot of the newer cars are made of what fiberglass, certain parts, and it's like really cheap and light.
Yeah. Yeah. There's certain ones that are kind of, you know, different. Um, but always look for something that makes you feel good. Makes you feel like if you could go cross country in it, you feel good for having done it, right? And then make sure that the safety is the primary thing for you and your family. And um, make sure, if anything, you have insurance for days. Right, Jesse? Like, you got to make sure you have that, right? As long as you have that, you'll be fine. And that's what I go with. I go, you know what? Worst case scenario, I've got full coverage. Even in a vehicle that you think you can't afford, always get full coverage just in case. Because when you're stuck without a vehicle, oh my God. And I will tell you this, on the last accident that I had, which wasn't my fault, my attorneys were able to get maximum from the insurance agency. Even though the other person was uninsured, I have uninsured motorist vehicle insurance. So, Jesse, always make sure your insurance broker knows that, okay? Always, okay? Make sure they do not dumb it down to the very minimum, which sometimes they do in order to save you money. Make sure you have uninsured motorist vehicles because there's so many people driving without insured insurance, okay? So, if you get hurt, you're basically up a creek. Now, they wanted to settle with me, the insurance, at the beginning, and so this is a lesson to everybody driving out there, okay? They wanted to settle with me. I think they're going to give me $800, $800 or $900, right? My attorney helped me go to, my therapy, so I got that taken care of. And then they found out something through the x-rays that they did. They sent me to a specialist, and he looked at my neck, and I go, yeah, it's very difficult to do this. He goes, yeah, I can see why. They want to put, like, some they basically want to give me like cortisone in my neck in order to minimize the pain. But my point is this: I had to go through all that in order to prove to the insurance agency I need more than what you were going to give me, right? Because I pay into it, right? But like I say, it wasn't my fault. I was proven completely it wasn't my fault because she slammed into me, but she had no insurance. So where are you gonna get it from? So that's why I say, if you're in the right and you have uninsured motorist vehicle, that covers the other party who doesn't have insurance. And you want to make sure it's high because you have doctor's bills, you got paying for days, you got stuff that you got to do in between. It is a pain in the butt. So if I can recommend anything this day, it would be make sure your insurance carrier has uninsured motorist vehicle. Because I've been hit by a total of, I want to say 2 people in the past. One who ran off and I chased him. And although I chased him and I found him, his insurance card was old. He wasn't insured. And at that time, I learned really quick because my insurance said, well, we can't cover uninsured. You don't have that on your policy. I'm like, who the heck wrote this dumb policy for me and didn't tell me that? So I always push this forward on that. So bodily injury, sometimes, in this case, is up to $15,000. Of course, I got to pay my attorney and I got to pay the people that have helped me, along the way. But it's worth it, okay? It took like... When did I get in that bad? Because that's when I hit the 4Runner, and I told you that the lady went like crazy. I wish I had a dash cam for that because nobody would believe me. It was like a Fast and Furious moment when she hit me, and it was like in the middle of the night on the 210 freeway, and she went careening off. She got hurt worse than I did, to be honest, but she couldn't sue me because she was the one in the wrong, or sue my agents, the insurance agency, and that's also another thing. You never want somebody to come after you personally. That's why you need insurance, right? If you have assets, they can and sometimes do go after that. I've never gone over after somebody that doesn't have that. I remember I had a bad accident. Boy, oh boy, she didn't. She had minimum insurance. But make sure you have a good attorney. And if you do, great. If you don't, it's okay. I can recommend you my attorney. I just got to find his card here somewhere. His name is Josh Cohen. Here it is. Yeah, Joshua Cohen Slatkin. Okay, the office of Joshua Cohen Slatkin. They dealt with everything that I needed and more. You can find them at lawofficejcs.com. They called me yesterday. They said, hey, the insurance agency took our request, and they're going to pay the maximum. I said, oh, good, thank you. But I was out without a car for like 3 months, Jesse. You remember I was walking everywhere. I was taking transit. It was a horrible part of my life.
I remember that. That was almost 6 months back.
Yeah, and then the vehicle, because it was a 4Runner, it got totaled, but they gave me like $4,800 for it, which was better than nothing. But again, I only had liability on that. If I had full coverage on that, I guarantee I would have probably gotten maximum, whatever I could have gotten. You know what I mean? So that's my lesson to myself. And if you have a small vehicle, do it too, because you never know. These people are crazy driving, Jesse. When I post that video, which I will, I just got to get it edited. Then you guys will understand what happened in front of me yesterday. Again, not my fault. I don't know whose fault it was, but you got to be careful, people. You got to be careful. And then there's hit and runs that I'll be talking about in the next few days, because, oh my goodness, be careful out there. Okay, and if anything, invest in a dash cam. Okay. They're inexpensive, and they do some really good stuff. The one that I bought is I want to say a Garmin or a Garmin. I can't remember the name of it. It's like $300, and I went and bought it honestly for lift, right? Just in case, you get weird people on the inside. But so it does inside interior, it does nighttime vision, but it does exterior front, and it's a really good camera, right? Just make sure you up the disc, and I have oh, here it is. Okay, so it's very simple. This, right, it records on like a little SanDisk, right? You've seen them like in little digital cameras. It records on this. You put this into your, you put this into your, the mini SD, right? You put that in, and then you go ahead. I gotta download it, and then there's ways to put it to your phone, and then get it to your phone, and then get it uploaded, or like if you're in an emergency or you want to prove you were the one not in the wrong, right? It's right there for you, right? This is how like sometimes they see asteroids in the air or like wow, but while you're driving, it's always recording. So that's the good news. But there you go. All right, people in social media, let's do a shout out. Stephanie Reed, hello. Mark Blevins, Rosalie tuning in. Rosalie says, good morning. Happy Friday Eve. I like that. Yeah, Thursday's always good. Get ready for the weekend, right? Mark's got the little thumbs up with coffee. Yep, it's that type of morning. Stephanie says, hello. Happy editing this glorious cold winter wonderland for this busy day ahead for today. Okay, I'm going to say something about Stephanie's comment, but hold on. Let me just say hi to Tanya Orozco, Katusha, Nelly, Paul Cassie says here, and this is what I was talking about with Jesse off camera. Well, Paul says this. Okay, the day after tomorrow. Has anybody seen it? Okay, and I'm not trying to like give like news, but I'm saying this is where we're going. Okay, the cold front is real, but the way it's coming down on America is odd. Okay, I saw the weather news yesterday, and the graph of America. Think Canada, super cold, right? And when we think of Canada, we usually think of it as cold, right? But we're going into February, and these winter chills are so bad. This is typical November, December weather for you, all of you in your area. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Paul Cassidy says -10 last night here in Vermont. Do you know what -10 is, Jesse?
No. I have never gone anything below. I think the lowest was 28, and that was when it was snowing here.
Okay. And that's worst case scenario here, right? -10. If you get in water, you will be dead in about 8 minutes. That's hypothermia. Okay, that's bad. You don't want to be stuck in it, and you certainly are not going to want to sleep in it, right? And if there's a cold chill coming, oh man, that's even worse. And if you have high winds, like blizzard type, at 30 miles per hour, guaranteed you're going to be like frozen within 8 hours, right? Stephanie Reed says it's about 17 degrees, really cold. She's in Ohio, by the way, right? Cleveland, Ohio. We love Ohio. And Stephanie for representing. But these are the things that, honestly, the science of the day after tomorrow, I showed my mom this yesterday, and she was freaked out. She's like, this is exactly where we're at. She goes, when did this movie come out? I go, it technically came out in 2004, which I think they kind of, made it in 2001. And it's from Michael Bay, the same producers as Transformers. Pretty forward thinking, right? Wish we had Transformers to save us right now. But my point is, weather is going down that route. Now, it won't be, and many of you going, is it going to be as bad as like that ending? No, but we're heading there in a weird way within probably the next 8 to 12 years. Because volcanoes, which in the movie it doesn't account for, it just says, typical climate shift because of humans. What they account for at the beginning is this huge glacier, which you probably don't remember at the beginning, cracks off and then into the sea. All of a sudden, right? The guy's drilling, and all of a sudden it's like it just splits it. You're like, what happened, right? But it's fractured, right? Well, they've already reported, and a lot of you guys don't know this because you haven't been watching the news, so I'm here to say it. They're already watching one in the South Antarctic, okay? Huge glacier that if it breaks off and it gets into the sea, they're like, oh no, okay? It is about the size, I think, of New York, is what they said. That getting into the ocean is going to create a whole other thing. Then you got volcanoes. We have a total of, I think, 49 of them currently active. And if we get 2 or 3 in the next 3 months that activate, so much carbon emission into our atmosphere, along with other materials, which reflect the sun, it is a situation where we go, are you kidding me? We got coronavirus, we got potential war with Russia, Ukraine, the U.S., Europe. That's happening. And then we got this climate shift happening. What the heck is going on this earth, right? So be careful out there. Drive safely. Love your family members. And remember, I think we can be ahead of it if we just do the right thing now and kind of slow it down, right? Or move south. I don't really know, Jesse, but that's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right, people, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages.
KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
You're running out of letterhead. What do? Lithopass Printing. You need business cards. Now what? Lithopass Printing. Invitations to a wedding? Lithopass Printing and Banning is the answer. Lithopass Printing can provide banners, signs, and blueprints. Think of Lithopass Printing and Banning for quality graduation, birthday party, and baby shower invitations. Lithopass Printing also provides lamination, faxing, and photo prints. If you need it inked, make it Lithopass Printing. Lithopass Printing and Banning.
The Holiday Inn Express in Suites and Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff and spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express in Suites and Banning, conveniently located at the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
Standard time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit to get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems, for all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
KMET presents the Heart to Heart radio show every Thursday afternoon beginning at 4 p.m. Heart to Heart grapples with personal issues of addiction recovery, sex therapy, relationships, and trauma. With over 60 years of combined counseling experience, Dr. Mitra and Dr. Robert discuss lifestyles and treatments to help you cope and achieve the inner peace you may be seeking. The Heart to Heart radio show is here for you every Thursday afternoon beginning at 4 o'clock p.m.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I know some of you are going, what? Day after tomorrow? Have I even seen that? Dennis Quaid. Jake Gyllenhaal. And some really great actors all in it. And if you look at the way he tries to warn government, you're like, is government even on this right now, right? Now, I will say we kind of have an administration that does care about climate change, thank goodness. I don't think the last one did. It was pretty obvious. And then you have the naysayers that go, no, this is kind of normal, big deal, whatever. But if you do the math, Jesse, we have had more natural disasters in the last, I think they did a theory, 2021, 2022, I think 2020, where we have had the most amount of problems on this earth in so many parts of the world that are so extreme weather. People are starting to pay attention. I don't feel it was all us, though. And this is the part people are going to say, what? Because we couldn't predict that many volcanoes erupting within a given year. Okay? If you do the math on the volcanoes, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, that's a whole other ballgame. That's what we have to account for. That's what new models have to account for. The volcano ash, or the volcanic ash, being spewed into our Earth's atmosphere. What does that mean for the rest of the world? Once you account for that, then you say, oh, shoot. La Palma was just one of many. That was one that we talked about here on the show, right? La Palma is still erupting, right? The latest one that caused the tsunamis, huge, right? And if you look at that one and the way it blasted, the shockwave that came out from it, and the height of it, the way they were able to see it, I think from the space station or satellite imagery, is alarming. But the fact that these things are affecting the Earth, people don't think about unless you are, honestly, climologists, right? That understand climate change, understand the weather, understand patterns, and understand all that. So there is a storm brewing in the Northeast. And I've been saying about the Northeast, and some of you are in that region, Northeast-ish, right? But you're already feeling the pain. Stephanie Reed says, about 1 a.m. last night, it was -1 degrees. Glad I got a microfiber down comforter to keep me warm. Yeah, I know, Jesse. You're like, how can it even, what? What do you do in that type of weather, right?
Right, when you're in California, you don't hear that. I mean, we get the heat, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like the 110 stuff like that. So like when I complain when it hits to like 37, that's extreme for me
Yeah.
because in here we don't get that weather. That's why I didn't have a jacket. I was not ready for this. So it's just like I'm a California person. All I have are shorts, unfortunately. I have a few pants, but I'm just like, because the weather's always nice here.
Yeah. Well,
But it's getting cold. It's getting really windy. So
I will say we do pay high, but if you are in -1 degree weather all the time, it is a pain in the butt. But here's what I feel is going to happen in the next 3 to 4 months. I don't feel we're going to have the summer that we usually do. And the type of northern situations that we've had as of late are really big, massive storms. On the west here and the north, we didn't get it here in the south so much, was what they call a bomb cyclone, okay? Now, in the Day After Tomorrow movie with Dennis Quaid, they talk about 3 huge superstorms happening, but they're like, that's not normal because it happens over land. What is going on? And they have like this big cyclone type of situation, which is kind of pulling cold air into the middle all of a sudden. Now, that I don't feel is happening, but we are having this as of right now, which kind of mimics a version of it. Not meaning that you're going to go to like, again, if you remember in certain portions, like some helicopters. In other words, you do not want to fly in this type of weather in the Northeast. Blizzard-like conditions will impact major Northeast cities this weekend. So those of you in this area, bear up, okay? Stay inside, stay home, make sure you have food for days, get ready for power outages, get ready for wind storms of massive proportions. CNN meteorologist Brandon Miller said the models continue to show a nor'easter or northeastern with blockbuster potential for the weekend, mainly late Friday, tonight through Saturday. There are still questions about how much snow, not tonight, tomorrow, sorry, we're on Thursday, how much snow will pile up and how extreme winds will get. The weather prediction said heavy snows most likely in parts of New England. It's still possible farther south along the East Coast. Now, remember, Jesse, that's where they actually like, sorry, I'm looking at numbers here. Oh, my God. That's terrible. Sorry, I'm looking at, inches of snow. Anywhere from a foot to a foot and a half in some places, Jesse. Can you imagine that much snow?
honestly, I can't imagine any snow except for just a light dusting.
But all of a sudden, okay, so they say heavy snow is still possible further south along the East Coast, including the major I-95 metropolitan areas from New York City to Washington, D.C., but that is more uncertain at this time. That's the road that goes all the way from the top east up to Florida. Okay, it's like our 5 freeway all the way up north, right, to like San Francisco. Okay, that's kind of like to give you some perspective for those of you on the West Coast here. They issued a winter storm watch for eastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island from Friday night until Saturday evening. Expected snowfall ranges from 8 to 16 inches with wind gusts. Oh, this is not good, Jesse. 60 miles per hour up to. Okay, that is a storm. Make sure your animals are inside. Make sure people have shelters in those areas because people are not going to be homeless. They will die in the freezing cold temperatures. Guaranteed. The storm is expected to form in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Georgia, then rapidly strengthen, a process known as bombogenesis. That's what they're calling this one. That already doesn't sound good, right? Just it already sounds like a sci-fi thriller waiting to happen, right?
It really does. Can we come out with something nice like Fluffy Bunny Wind or something?
Fluffy Bunny Wind. Bombogenesis. That's what's hitting us. The Boston Weather Service office said, guidance indicates potential for the storm to undergo bombogenesis, meaning its central pressure drops at least 24 MB, I'm not sure what that is, in 24 hours. This creates a very tight pressure gradient, meaning strong, potentially damaging winds will accompany the snow. So this isn't just, yay, we get to play in the snow. This is called damage, okay, along with snow. The storm is likely to strengthen at a rate and to an intensity equivalent to only the most powerful hurricanes, so the high-end potential of the storm cannot be overstated. Now they said, but with nor'easters, like in real estate, it will all come down to location, location, location. In other words, stay inside, all right? Don't venture out. It's just not worth it. Yeah, I'm looking at some other stuff here. It's bad, Jesse. It's bad. And with coastal flooding on the table, which is a potential with this situation, it's a whole big thing. By Monday, we're gonna have probably so much news about the Northeast. I know we're not living there, but we're gonna want to start praying for them and then some, because it's bad. Let's see. Okay, people on social media, thank you for tuning in. Chris Garcia tuning in. Mark tuning in. And Rosalie says, I'm working 48 regular hours, 38 overtime hours all this week. There isn't a weekend for me, but I hope everyone else has an amazing weekend. Aw, you know what? I will say, what, Jesse? What's going on with you?
Good Lord, Rosalie, are you a machine?
I know, 48 regular hours plus 38 overtime hours. I mean, I will say this: she has money for days, right? Like, you know, I don't know where you work, but good job. You know, save up. I will say that. How do you work that many hours and not like? You know, she's
I know she likes to drink coffee, so I'm assuming she runs on coffee.
She runs on something. I don't know what energy she has, but Rosalie, keep it up. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. Stay safe out there. Remember, bundle up, stay warm, and you know what? Have family fun on the inside. Get Oculus, get some stuff for, you know, entertainment on the inside, and be ahead of it. And make sure all of your mobile phones are charged. Make sure you have backup batteries. Make sure you have stuff for a storm. If you got to go to Walmart this day and you're in that area, go to Walmart and get some stuff just to get you over the rough, because it's going to happen in the nor'easter. Okay, so be careful over there. Stephanie says, seen in Valley View, Ohio, there was some water flood in a canal. Yeah, again, not good when you have winter temperatures. But here's my point in saying this. Watch the day after tomorrow, and then you'll understand where we're at. It's not as extreme and as quick as like 7 days, but within the next 3 to 4 years, we're going to see cold temperatures stay. And probably the hottest it's going to get in these areas is probably like 40, 50, and or 60, which I know some of you think, oh, yay, that's actually not that bad. I hate the heat. Me too. I hate it too. But if we have that for crops, oh, my goodness, what happens for our future? So, again, be aware of it, be ahead of it, and then bundle up. All right, people? Okay, we'll take a quick little break. We'll be back with more.
Everyone, this is Bernadette, the host of One Life Radio, your #1 source for alternative and holistic health since 2011. One Life Radio is designed to educate and inspire. Visit us at oneliferadio.com, because you get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. Get out there today and make the most of it. Tune in weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1490 KMET Smart Talk, ABC News Radio.
We're in the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us, what makes you the #1 choice for handling personal injury cases?
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
That's Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers, with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennyandassociates.com or call 1-800-616-4LAW. That's 1-800-616-4LAW.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Football season is back, and so is Steer the Line with Lou Desmond and me, Jeremy James. Join Lou and I, along with special guests, every Friday at 5 p.m. as we cover the latest in NFL news, fantasy football, and of course, our weekly Steer the Line game picks. We'll also do check-ins on our local LA teams and, of course, a deeper dive into Raider Nation. Fridays at 5 p.m. on 1490 KMET. Follow Steer the Line on Facebook and visit steertheline.com.
The Fat Greek in Yucaipa, where you can get authentic, delicious, true Greek food. Authentic gyros, Greek salads, pitas, falafel, hamburgers, burritos, and oh yes, baklava. The Fat Greek has a large selection of wines, ice-cold domestic, and imported Greek beers. Come on down to the Fat Greek located on Yucaipa Boulevard in the city of Yucaipa. Open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. The Fat Greek has delivery, drive-through, sit-down, and a catering service. So bring in a family or give Nicholas and Christopher a call at 909-797-6018. Eat Greek, live long. Remember, if you want authentic Greek food, it's the Fat Greek in Yucaipa.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. And I will say big shout out to Rosalie, who's working around the clock to make sure everybody is good, safe, and sound. And she let us know again. I always forget where she works, but I do know now. She says, I work for Covered California. Which is the Obamacare, often known as. And it's the end of open enrollment, so a couple of days. I'm working 7:45 a.m. to midnight. Yikes! Wow, that is a long day. I will say, Jesse can barely hold together like a. What's the maximum you've ever done, Jesse? That's what like 8-10 hours.
No, actually, every Wednesday and Thursday I work from 7 to 7 here.
Yeah.
The latest I've worked here was 7 to 10:30, and that was only because we had a very late football game. And
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so that was around what, 15 hours?
Yeah, I know. I get that. And she says, $40 an hour on overtime is not bad. I will say, yay, right? Like I said, she's got money for days. Just save it. Fortunately, I just have to walk to my loft. LOL. But yes, coffee. I have an extra coffee station in my loft, so I don't have to walk downstairs. I know, lazy. Now, you know what? I get it, man. I get it. If I have questions, I know where to go, Rosalie. Thank you. Which I think Rosalie is in Downey, right? So, big shout out to Rosalie and all of her team over there doing what they do to make sure everybody is safe. I'm just going to throw this up here. This is a not current situation, but I want everybody to understand this on the information I was sharing just a moment ago. Because I know some people are like, why are you saying, day after tomorrow? Because that was like a fantasy, right? Like, worst case scenario. Actually, it came out at a time where we were getting a bunch of those. In 2020, not 2020. In 2000 to 2000, I think, remember when we had all those, like we had the asteroid one, we had the one, Armageddon with Bruce Willis. We had like a bunch of them all in one year, right? We kind of got inundated with a bunch of
Yes, I remember that.
ways the Earth could die, right? And this was just one of them, right? But I remember thinking until the end, I'm like, it's a little too much for me, blah, blah, blah. I remember thinking a good portion of it makes sense, all right? And this is the situation as of the end of 2021. This is a photo that I found that was posted on a website, windy.com, okay? And if you look at this, and just hopefully so you can see it as well, what you see there is what is still continuing now, but it's changed, okay? This is the end of 2021 through early 2022, okay? You see that cold on the top, and then the blue, and then the yellow, and then the reds? Okay, we're in California, we're on the West Coast, right? Imagine for a minute, and for those of you on the radio, I know you can't really see what we're showing you, but it's now more north to south, which is really odd temperature. It's meaning like, how do I say this? The frigid cold isn't just from the northwestern side of the U.S. It's coming down literally from the top south, which is odd, okay? But like the day after tomorrow, he goes, everybody south of this line, evacuate. The people on the north, they're going to have to brace for impact, right? Now, it's not as bad as the situation like I'm saying, like in the movie, where you're going to freeze to death like in literally less than 3 minutes, right? But it's bad, right? And having, Stephanie talk about -1 degree weather, it's horrible. So this is kind of even out from literally almost like, think of like a drape being pulled down on the U.S. from Canada. And I got friends in Canada, and it is freezing there. But we're going into February, so put that in your head and go, wait, how long is it? Like, when is it? Summer? June, July, and August probably will not be the type of heat wave that we've had as of last year, because the Earth is shifting when it comes to the climate. Guaranteed. And again, it is the volcanoes adding a bunch of problems to our Earth's atmosphere. Okay? That's not our fault. That's why I say it's a mixture of things. We did not help it along. In fact, Jesse, I kid you not, there's a situation right now which, and I hate to say it this way, but we're on, I think we're the third worst city in the U.S. for pollution.
Oh, wait. What city?
L.A.
Oh, God, I don't live in L.A. Whoop, whoop.
But San Bernardino was like 6, so don't whoop up so much. Like
San Bernardino, what the?
So, well, San Bernardino used to be almost like number 1 technically back in the day, like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe even 8. And
you know what? We have so many warehouses here,
Yeah.
so I don't blame them.
Yeah, I blame them, but they could be safer. But my point is this, okay? That is before volcanic ash is in our atmosphere. So we're basically breathing in, each other's emissions from vehicles and emitting of certain factories, like you just said, emitting of, all kinds of things that we don't want in our lungs, right? That's the reality. So we need to plant more trees. We talked about this. I know it sounds very basic, but we got to go back to the 80s mentality. Save our Earth, okay? We have to do that. We have to overcompensate for this because it's going to get frigid. It's going to get cold. It's going to get worse for us, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, having said that, let's say some good news. Jesse, do you have any good stories over there?
I do have one. Okay, so first off, I just realized that the iPhones have a secret button. Did you know this?
I did not know. What's the secret button? Tell me.
So on the back of an iPhone, you have that little Apple symbol.
Yeah.
That's a button.
No, it isn't.
It is. I was not aware that was even a button.
Did you push it? Does it work?
What happens is if you double tap it, you can it'll like go to a shortcut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was just like, what? That's actually pretty awesome. I wish there was instructions in those. But yeah, it's a little secret button. I didn't even realize it had it.
Well,
I mean, I look at the symbol, but I didn't realize you could tap it.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna try that then. Double tap, you mean? Just double tap and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, you can even you go into the settings, and if you look for, let's see, what was it? Because I thought someone was messing around with me. They're all like, yeah, no, just go into the settings and whatever for, let's see, was it? I don't remember what it was, but yeah, there's a way to set up shortcuts, and one of the shortcuts is for this button. I have it set up so it takes screenshots, make it a little bit easier.
I want that for the phone, so somebody doesn't know when I'm taking their picture. Especially criminals. They're everywhere, man.
Right.
There's
also one other thing.
Okay, go ahead.
So, apparently there's our moon's gonna get some more space junk pretty soon.
Oh God, of course. Why? They need to watch Moonfall. Go ahead.
Apparently a SpaceX rocket that launched nearly 7 years ago is now on a course to crash into the moon. The Falcon 9 booster was launched in February 2015 as part of a mission to send a climate observation satellite 1.5 million kilometers from Earth, but since running out of fuel, the 4.4-ton rocket has been hurtling around space in a chaotic orbit.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, it eventually looks like it'll hit the far side of the moon while traveling at a blistering speed of 5,771. I wonder if we can see this with, no, it's on the far side. Never mind. Of course.
Jesse, okay. Do you remember we were talking like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I said there was a movie. It's the future one, or the Time Machine. It's called Time Machine. And I said this. I said, what if that were a real thing? Because in there they predict that the moon splits open. What the heck?
Okay, yeah. If this rocket actually, I don't think it's gonna explode. Since it ran out of fuel, remember? So it's just dead piece of.
But it's on course to crash into the moon. Astronomers have predicted. I'm looking at this. This is not like unreal news, Jesse. This is real.
I know, that's what I'm telling you.
We're not even promoting Moonfall right now. We don't get paid for this stuff. Like, Jesse, I'm going, what the heck?
Right, I'm just letting people know. I'd be like,
no, this is good. This is good information. If it slits open, now we know what caused it. What kind of dumb rocket is not tracking? What the heck is this? Jesse?
Right, we'll blame you, Elon. We know where you live.
And you know which one it is? It's the one that looks... Remember we laughed about this, Jesse? Do you remember? It looks like the one that we go, is there like a situation with like man's manhood? Because it looks like...
No, it's not a phallus rocket, is it?
That's the one I'm seeing.
Oh my God, no.
That's the one I'm seeing. It basically looks like... Well, I don't want to say it like specifically, but it looks like man's junk, you know what I mean? So this is what... Okay, it's the Falcon 9 booster. Okay, it was launched in February of 2015 as part of a mission to send a climate observation satellite 930,000 miles from Earth. But since running out of fuel, the 4.4-ton rocket has been hurtling around space in a chaotic orbit. They're saying this now? The rocket's upper stage is now expected... Oh, God, Jesse, you got to watch Gravity. This is what I said, and I said this to my mom. She goes... do you know what I'm talking about, right? Space chick all of a sudden hurtling towards you know which movie we're talking about, right?
Okay, so I saw the first 40 minutes of Gravity. I didn't finish it. I will finish it, but yeah, no, it's like, good Lord, why do we...
Was your heart palpitating for her? You're like, oh my God, this cannot happen. But this is happening in outer space, man. The rocket's upper stage is now expected to hit the far side of the moon, of course, while traveling at a blistering speed of 5,771 miles per hour, and it's expected to happen. They already know. They've already projected, Jesse, by March 4th, 2022, according to Bill Gray, who's the developer of software that tracks near-Earth objects. In a January 21st blog post, this is not even fake, people, Gray noted that the space junk has made a close lunar flyby on January 5th, but is set for a certain impact at March 4th. He wrote, "This is the first unintentional case of rocket debris hitting the moon of which I am aware. The now defunct booster stage was sent into space as part of SpaceX's first deep space mission." Oh man, Elon, you were not responsible with this one. The company launched the Deep Space Climate Observatory, a satellite designed to monitor both solar storms and Earth's climate to a gravitationally stable Lagrange point between the sun and Earth. After completing its task, the rocket's second stage ran out of fuel, began tumbling around the Earth and the moon in an unpredictable orbit. Yeah, that's not fun, Jesse. It does when it impacts with the moon, guaranteed impact. I mean, the moon's had a lot of impacts as it is. That's why it has a lot of craters. But
I'm just disappointed that it's going to hit the far side of the moon so people can't observe it and we can't record it.
Well, maybe they could put that other satellite that they put out there and look at it, to see what damage it does. Like, is it going to explode on impact? An astrophysicist at Harvard University said on Twitter, he wrote that while the impact was interesting, it was not a big deal. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. They always have these, big moments, and then they go, it's not a big deal until it happens. You're like, Gray has forecast that the long cylindrical rocket stage should land somewhere around the moon's equator at its far side, meaning that the impact will likely go unobserved. But its trajectory isn't certain and could be altered by a few factors, including radiation pressure from sunlight, which could cause the rocket to tumble sideways. Gray wrote in the blog post, he said, space junk can be a little tricky. Yeah. He said, I have a fairly complete mathematical model of what the Earth, Moon, Sun, and planets are doing and how the gravity is affecting the object. I have a rough idea of how much sunlight is pushing outward on the object, gently pushing away from the sun. However, the actual effects of that sunlight are hard to predict perfectly. It doesn't just push outward. Some of it bounces sideways. A good prediction of where the space lander will land is important because it could enable satellites currently orbiting the moon, such as NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter and India's Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft, to observe the moon's subsurface contents revealed by the impact crater or even observe the impact itself. Yes, see, they're going to be like, let's see what this does to our moon, right? Come on, people. This isn't the first time a human-made satellite has crashed into the moon. Yeah, but this isn't a satellite. This is a rocket, right? In 2009, NASA's Lunar Crater Observation and Sensing Satellite was fired into the moon's south pole at 5,600 miles per hour. Oh, good to know. Unleashing a plume that allowed scientists to detect the key signatures of water ice. Yeah, I get that. Are we really just going to let space junk impact our moon? Like, what, are we throwing trash to the moon? Like, is that the next dumpster for us? What the heck, people? You got to be careful with stuff like that.
Honestly, the space is just junk anyway. Who knows how much space trash is floating around our planet, all satellites we're not using anymore. Oh my God. We just like to litter, I swear.
We don't mind so much until they hit the Earth, right? And then we hope that they land in the ocean somewhere, right? Because sometimes upon re-entry, which they do, you hope that they'll burn up in the Earth's atmosphere, right? When they come down as fast as they do, right? We've seen enough Star Trek movies to know that happens unless you have shielding, right? You hope it doesn't explode on the re-entry. But on the moon, it doesn't happen that way. It's when it smashes into it, what's going to happen next? And then all that debris, where does that go? Because it floats, right? So if you were on a mission in space, guaranteed, hello, debris, coming at you. Watch the movie Gravity, then you understand everything with Sandra Bullock. Seriously, good movie. And George Clooney, by the way, which ends up dying. Sorry. Hey, I know, I totally told you that. Well, I don't want you to be so, what?
To be honest, I figured one of them would actually die.
Yeah,
so
yeah. She survived.
It is what it is. No one's coming out of space alive. Let's be real.
Not when debris comes at you that way, anyways, So, good job, Sandra. Stephanie Reese says, just got an email from a client cold and doing a commercial outside this cold day. You know what? Do it during the day, don't do it at night. Make sure you got gloves and warmth all around you. All right, people. Anyway, I'm out of time. Make it a good day, whatever you do. Keep our Earth's atmosphere marginally good. And stop sending space junk out there if you don't plan on fixing it. Seriously, Elon, get ahead of that. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Bye, everyone.